So far, we've done 40 of your must-do things. But for now, brace yourself for the final countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the top 10.
The Northern Lights. That's about the most fun you can have without resorting to non-prescription drugs. An amazing, hallucinogenic experience.
It's not like a landmark that you can go and see, it's just nature having fun.
And it reminds you that you live in chaos.
A magical light show with no technical malfunctions.
I've come to Ivalo, a town in northern Finland, better known as Lapland, this area, and we've just heard that the Northern Lights are coming out, and I can tell you they are absolutely magnificent, stretching from as far as the eye can see, right across the full breadth of the sky. And they're not like stars, they're not like a beam of light in the sky, they're almost indescribable. It's quite thrilling because you know that such a small amount of people around the world have actually seen them, because they don't come out every night. It's not a guarantee that you're going to come here and see them. They absolutely deserve to be in at number 10. Number 9 takes your love of animals and nature and throws them together in a wild way. We're talking safari.
To see all those animals and the beauty of the place, that is just fantastic.
Go on safari.
To see an elephant walk past your door on the way to the watering hole is just so superb. To see animals in their natural environment, it was the most fantastic time of my life.
Now to an animal of a different kind and a beast of the air. Do the names Iceman, Goose and Maverick mean anything to you? Well, they must do, because the emails have soared in from thousands of you wannabe Top Guns. And what do you want to do? Fly in a fighter jet.
Ideally, a Harrier jump jet, one of these aviators as the Americans call them, where just as you start going forward, you also start going up, and you feel as though you've been kicked in the back. It is the most exhilarating, astonishing sensation.
I'm about to experience this Hawker Hunter pushed to its absolute limit. And I have to say, on your list, this is the one thing that stood out for me, the thing I really wanted to do before I die. Now that I'm strapped in and I'm in the cockpit, I feel quite claustrophobic, and I have to admit, I feel quite scared.
It's a combination of being Formula One driver, space shuttle astronaut, and a riding Concorde.
So we're going to go loop-the-loop right the way over the top.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Just like to go up where there's no brake lights in front of me.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Look at it, look at it.
I'm scared of heights and I'm claustrophobic and I'm doing this.
To fly beyond the speed of sound. Experience blood loss from your brain.
If I've gone quiet, it's because I can't speak at the moment.
At 700 miles an hour, it would be something that I'd really like to do before I die.
Oh my God, this is definitely something you should do before you die.
Still in the skies for number 7, but we're floating through the air at an altogether more civilised speed.
Everybody should have at least one flight in a hot air balloon. It's the most wonderful experience, relaxing, and it's the best way to fly.
Men have been going up, up and away in their beautiful balloons since 1783, when 2 noblemen of the court of Louis XVI had the bright idea of making a balloon of paper and silk and lighting a fire below it. There have been many fanciful flights since then, but today one flight in particular inspires you all.
I would love to go ballooning over the Serengeti at sunrise. All those herds of wild animals, the zebras, the wildebeests, the buffaloes, in the golden rays of the morning light from a position unparalleled. I love wildlife, I love beauty, I love flying. I think you put them all together and it's just amazing. I just can't imagine anything better.
Well, others don't agree, because although we're moving up the list, we're plummeting back down to earth at a rate of knots for number 6.
I'd like to do jumping out of an aeroplane, definitely up for a bit of that.
The only way I would ever jump out of a plane is if it was on fire, or if I was on fire.
Wow, the sight, the earth below like a big, colourful patchwork quilt.
Free falling at 120 miles an hour opening your parachute and then slowly gliding down to earth. It is just the best feeling.
We are getting closer and closer to the #1 thing to do in your lifetime. But first, number 5. Well, shark's fin soup is scary enough for me, but some of you want to see real fins swimming towards you. Dan and Archana Sandy from Stafford volunteered to dip their toes in the water.
We all know the music. Its name's synonymous with nightmares.
And you voted it number 5.
We're going to get in the water with the most notorious set of teeth, the great white shark.
This is what's going to protect us.
Because I've always been really, really afraid of sharks, especially great white sharks, which have got a reputation for occasionally eating human beings. And we're really excited.
So, time to enter the cage and face the great white shark. Several thousand pounds of muscle and razor-sharp teeth. How did it feel coming face to face with those infamous jaws?
It looks exhilarating. Absolutely mad. Whoa. Brilliant.
That's amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant.
Number 1! Well, it's not. From a big scary fish to another, the size of a double-decker bus. There are few sights in nature as awe-inspiring as whales. And whale watching, your number 4, is carried on in the waters of some 40 countries. These amazing creatures can swim up to 35 knots, that's 60 kilometres per hour, dive to depths of 2 kilometres, and blue whales, the largest, can grow over 30 metres long and weigh up to 170 tonnes.
Just to see that first whale dive and the tail come up and disappear, it's just awesome.
Most significant thing is you just feel small in comparison.
You are such a small item on this world, but here is the greatest living thing in the world actually in front of you.
I felt quite humbled, actually. Tears actually came to my eyes.
Moving swiftly on to the top 3 now. Yes, the top 3. And at number 3, well, I'll give you 2 clues. She was born in 1969 and she's just been retired.
The one thing I'd like to do before I die is to fly to New York on Concorde.
Thousands of you contacted us, but with seats like gold dust, we could only make the dream come true for 2 lucky passengers.
Number 3.
Philip Southwood worked as an aircraft fitter on Concorde when he was a young man, but never got the chance to fly on it.
I'd love to fly Concorde before I die because of the years that we spent working on it, nailing it together as we call it. I never had the chance to fly.
16-year-old Christopher Green is one of Concorde's youngest fans.
Concorde is the epitome of civil aviation. My nan always said she'd take me, but she died unfortunately 5 years ago.
Chance of a lifetime.
I'm very excited.
I never thought I'd get the chance to fly Concorde. I'm a little bit nervous, yes, because it's only the second time that I've flown, but I know it's a good aircraft.
Concorde looks more sleek than I thought, and I'm really looking forward to boarding in half an hour's time.
If there's one thing I had to do before I died, it would be flying Concorde.
Concorde is the pinnacle of flying, really.
You're travelling at twice the speed of sound.
The ultimate in flying.
There's no other plane that catches the imagination.
Hello, sir. How are you? Welcome on board the Concorde.
Into the famously narrow Concorde cabin.
3 minutes till we go, so very excited.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain. You're welcome on board our Concorde aircraft. It's down to New York JFK Airport. I do hope you're comfortable and looking forward to the Concorde experience. Thank you.
Concorde will make the 3,700-mile journey across the Atlantic in around 3.5 hours. With the time difference, you arrive in New York before you left London.
Takeoff was wonderful. I was a little bit apprehensive, but terrific.
It's extremely fast, extremely exciting.
As the aircraft breaks the sound barrier, Christopher samples his first gourmet Concorde canapé.
I've never had it before, I don't know what it is, but it's nice.
And the moment everyone's waiting for, Mach 2, Concorde reaches twice the speed of sound. And there's the famous deep blue sky of the Earth's outer atmosphere. So how does it feel to be finally flying on Concorde?
It was something so special, flying 10 miles high at Mach 2, perfect view of the curvature of the Earth, and I felt privileged today.
I think it's wonderful. It's better than I ever thought it would be.
Well, we're just minutes away from revealing the #1 thing to do before you die. But first, the runner-up. And it could hardly be termed as second best. Thousands of you have recommended it and found it difficult to do justice to the beauty of this natural wonder. And what you want to do is go scuba diving in the greatest of nature's aquariums.
The thing I would most like to do before I die is go scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef.
I would like to scuba dive in more places around the world. Barrier Reef would be cool.
Crystal clear water and billions of beautiful fish.
The experience when you go down underwater for the first time and you see the banks of coral in front of you, and it's just a whole new perspective on the world.
10 minutes down in the bottom of the sea there, you come across more wildlife than 10 hours up in some undiscovered jungle above the sea.
It's like Hollywood animation, these big bubbles going by and these colourful fish. It's intense. I absolutely adored it.
Absolutely out of this world. It's extraordinary, a wonderful experience and a fantastic sensation.
We're seconds away from finding out the #1 thing to do before you die. Isn't it exciting? Throughout history, they've intrigued mankind with tales of their mystical powers and super intelligence. Their legendary curiosity and playfulness have enchanted us for generations. Thousands and thousands of you have bombarded us with emails and calls to say the #1 thing to do before you die is to go swimming with dolphins.
They're absolutely amazing animals. They're so gentle, they're so sensitive.
I like the noise they make.
Once you swim with them, you don't want to leave them.
A one-off magical experience.
I journeyed to the Dolphin Research Centre in the Florida Keys to try out your #1 thing to do before you die. And it was incredible. It's amazing because they're so responsive and they feel fantastic, don't you? You feel wonderful, you feel so lovely. And they're so huge and so powerful and yet so playful. And I'm really, really lucky to be here with them. And what of their famed intelligence? I learned some basic dolphin communication.
On Freddie Marino, 1, 2, 3, go! Come on, girls! Yeah, in the middle. Oh, should come up a little bit. Even when you're swimming with them, they can use that echolocation on you and find out lots of things about you by sonaring your whole body. I was pregnant and I didn't know it one time. I went swimming with them and the dolphins were buzzing my belly like crazy. I went to the doctor a week later and they knew. So that's how amazing that sonar is. They're way ahead of us. They understand far more of our language than we understand of theirs.
They were intelligent, playful and really quite inspiring. And you're right, there was something mystical and magical about swimming with dolphins. Well, this is the thing that you voted for as the #1 thing to do before you die. We had 49 other amazing experiences, but this takes some beating, and that's why thousands and thousands of you voted for this above all the rest. See you.